Standard form is a particular type of backwards question. Backwards questions you're familiar with. It's where I give you the answer and you have to say what the question was. So for example, if I say the answer has to be 6, you've got plenty of options. 2 times 3, 5 plus 1, 10 minus 4. In fact, there's no limit to how many options you've got. And that's usually the case with backwards questions. Standard form is a type of backwards question where we are incredibly restrictive on what your question has to be. So the answer's got to be 6,000. Okay, everyone make up a question just in your head now that could give 6,000. Okay, can you make sure it's a multiplication question, please? Can you make sure that that it's just two numbers, so something times something? Can you also make sure that the first number is between 1 and 10? Has everyone got 6 times 1,000? Okay, well that's getting there, but even that is not good enough. What else do people have? Yeah?
2 times 3,000.
2 times 3,000? Okay. That also works. Or 3 times 2,000. Kemi, what did you have?
750 times 4. I mean,
4 times 750, yeah?
no, yeah.
The first number had to be between 1 and 10. Okay? Now, to make it even a little more complicated, when we're actually doing this, we insist that the first number is allowed to be 1, but it cannot be 10. So it's a very unusual meaning of the word between. Okay? We also say that the second number has to be a power of 10, like 10, 100, a million, 100,000. So therefore, Lottie's suggestion is not allowed. Can't be 3 times 2,000, it has to be something times 1,000. So 6 times 1,000 is the only real option. And get this, you're not even allowed to write 1,000. Your question, that's not wrong, but it has to be written like this. 1,000 needs to be written as a power. Now I hope everyone agrees that that is 1,000, so it's not wrong. What you have was not wrong, it's just this obeys the rules. So that's why I said it's a particular type of backwards question. Okay? Can everyone try and obey the rules for this, please? Can you do 450, please? Just in your head. I've given you a lot of rules. It needs to be a multiplication question. It needs to use a power of 10, like it needs to use a million, 100, 10, 1,000. But the thing is, the opening number must be between 1 and 10, so you can't use 45. So Ella, what have you used?
I was going to use 5 times 90, but then...
Yeah, you're not allowed to use 90. You have to use tens, 100, millions. Well, girls, use decimals. Decimals are allowed. Use 4.5. What do I need to times by to get 450? Remember, you're making up the question. You make sure it works. I think it's 100. But don't write 100. Write 10 times 10. Okay? Can you be quiet, please? Now, what makes this even more annoying is if I give you a really small number, you're not even allowed to use a division. Okay? Now I think we all agree that 2.04 is pretty promising if you want to get 0.0204. It's certainly between 1 and 10. But if you want to get 2.04 to end up real small, you're going to have to use a divider by, aren't you? So it seems to me that the best thing to do would be, where's the decimal point? It's currently there. I need it to be there. Or rather, it's currently there. I need it to be there. So I should divide by 100, right? That's not allowed. You're not allowed to use divided by symbols. Okay? Well, what the fix is, totally fake. The fix is you pretend it's a multiplication. You write the 10 squared instead of the 100. But to rescue the fact that you've completely faked it, you warn the world that you understand that you've faked it by putting a negative there. It's not a negative number, it's just a code. A negative number up there in the power is a code for the fact that you understand that that should have been a divided by button. And that's just something that somebody decided ages ago and you've got to live with it. If you're inventing maths, you could have developed a different code, but this is the one that they've decided on. Now, it makes more sense than I'm making out now. There's a whole bunch of reasons why they've decided to use negative powers instead of divided by buttons, instead of divided by symbols. But we won't go into that just now. Okay, so can I just get you to do this one, please? Can I just get you to work out a division question? It's just you're not allowed to write it as a division. Just in your head, What number are you going to start with? It needs to be between 1 and 10, so don't use 12. It's got to come out real small. So make sure you're using like a big number, you're dividing by a big number. So Georgia, what you choose? What was your number?
1.2.
1.2. And you needed to divide it by what to get it down to 0.0012? 1,000. So this is the logical thing. Don't move, please. But that breaks the rules. So Sophie, what obeys the rules?
1.2 times 10 cubed.
Yep, that's completely sweet. 1,000 is 10 cubed. But to compensate for the fact that you've changed the divided by to a times, you must put that there or else you will clearly written a question that's not correct. Okay, so that's standard form, girls.